Okay, if I can have your attention, please, here in the Media Center, 50th anniversary season at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and the Coors Light pole winner for tomorrow night's Emory Healthcare 500 is Denny Hamlin. He drives the number 11 Sports Clip Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing this weekend, and this is his 8th career pole, and it's the 50th NASCAR Sprint Cup Series pole for Joe Gibbs Racing. Their first one came in 1995 with Bobby Labonte at Martinsville. Denny effort, and with 2 races remaining before the chase, certainly you have to feel good about starting up front and trying to get 10 more bonus points.
Yeah, I feel like the last 10 races have definitely been up and down for our team. We went on such a hot streak there. We kind of got spoiled a little bit, I guess you could say, and deemed probably the regular season irrelevant from that point on. Because we felt like we were going to get into the chase. But we're just going to spend these next 2 weeks treating these next 2 weeks as if it's a chase racing. We found ourselves going for wins so much and going all out trying to get more wins that it probably hurt us in the long run. So these next 2 weeks we're gonna points race just as if it's Loudon, New Hampshire.
Questions for Denny Hamlin? If you have one, raise your hand. Questions? Raise your hands high. Certainly, there's a question for Denny Hamlin.
Dun dun dun.
Anybody?
All right.
Don Coble's got one. I thought Don had his hand up. Right over here. To your right there, Denny.
I see you.
So, you said that you're going to go back to points racing. Are you, when you say points racing, are you looking more to try to create momentum? Is that what you're looking for? Is that as important right now as wins?
Right, because we won more when we were worried about just getting into the chase and solidifying our place in the chase. We were winning more then. We were calling races, normal regular season races. And it seems like as soon as you kind of get spoiled with all the wins and try to get more wins, and you kind of throw caution to the wind, you kind of throw a bonsai setup in there, or maybe parts that maybe not be as reliable as others. You kind of get you get your hand bitten. So these next 2 weeks we're bringing everything that we got to the racetrack, the best stuff that we have, and seeing how we're going to stack up against the competition these next 2 weeks.
Other questions? Mulhern's got one right over here. Bring him the mic, please. And then we'll go to Kenny.
Mike Muller. I think Kurt Busch was saying he was going to take the first 2 races of the chase or so and see what Jimmy Johnson was going to be able to do and what Kevin Harvick was going to be able to do. And I get the impression that you're going to use these next couple of races to push those guys and see what they can do. In other words, you're going into the chase in a little different approach than some of these other guys of not wanting to make mistakes.
Our chase starts this weekend. We're bringing the best stuff that we have starting right now. We're not waiting till the chase. We're bringing what we have to see where we're going to stack up competition-wise these next 2 weeks. So, obviously, it starts. We brought our best stuff here, and we never qualify on the pole. We never qualify on the time. This is a great step and a good sign for our team.
Any other questions? Kenny Bruce.
Kenny Bruce, SceneDaily.com. Denny, obviously, starting on the pole, you're going to have track position early and everything, but how is your car in race trim? Are you comfortable with it? Do you feel like it's one of the faster cars, or are you going to have to change it a lot as the race progresses?
I'm going to be cautiously optimistic, but this is the fastest car I've ever had in race trim. It was very, very, very good.
Jim Utter has one right here, please.
Jim Utter, Charlotte Observer. Denny, going back to what Mike asked you, obviously there must be some, your team must think there's some value or about testing some of these things, you know, as you get closer to the chase. Is it your contention, you think, that as a driver or just for team morale, that maybe the benefit of whatever that is outweighed by not making it to victory lane as often as you were earlier?
I think, you know, when you try to plan starting momentum in New Hampshire, it's tough to do that. It's just like having all these preseason NFL games and then you're not taking it seriously, and then start of the first week one, you're not performing because you didn't go all out in preseason. So for us, we're taking it and we're bringing the best that we have. I'm trying to do everything I can to just pretend that the chase starts here to see what we have, and hopefully we start our momentum now to where our momentum is hitting its stride once the chase starts. We're not just trying to start it at that particular point. So for me, I think it's important for us to really have our game face on these next 2 weeks. To when we get to Loudon, New Hampshire, we're not just hoping and praying that everything we've done comes out and it works that first week. We're working on it and doing it now.
Go ahead, Al.
Denny, Al Pierce, Motor Week. Are you counting on the other chase teams doing it the same way you are? Because if they're not bringing everything they've got today or next week, and you bring your good stuff, you may not really get a good feel for what they've got if they're not doing it the way you're doing it.
I think everyone does it differently. I think probably the guys 8th to wherever that are fighting for a chase spot, they've definitely got their best stuff here at the racetrack. So that's 4, 5, 6 guys there. The rest of them, I mean, you just kind of look at their cars that they're bringing, where they've run them, whether they're new cars, old cars, and then you kind of calculate whether they're bringing their best stuff to the racetrack or not. But everyone's going to go as hard as they can. But I think a lot of people do plan on bringing their best stuff. You know, usually the Indy is the turning point where everyone brings out all their new stuff and their new technology and everything. And so when everyone did that, we felt like we kind of fell behind. They kind of leapfrogged over us. And now we were bringing out, what we feel like is our best stuff. And it's obviously stacking up against the guys pretty good. Not to say that we don't still have work to do. We still got to work really, really hard. The off week was good for us because it kind of gave us a chance to kind of reset and reshift our thinking and what areas we're going to work. So, I definitely like the off week worked out perfectly for our race team to kind of get back on track.
Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Muller.
Y'all didn't have any questions 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, I got them going though. I got the juices flowing. Go ahead.
All right. Yes. You were saying earlier today you were worried about reliability, and now you're talking about the fastest car and everything. I get the impression this weekend you're challenging your team as much as you're challenging these other guys out there. You want to see just what your team can do as much as what you want to see Jimmy Johnson, Kevin Harvick can do.
I mean, whenever we have those mechanical failures, it is so frustrating for myself, and I think the 11 team's kind of been characterized as the team that got all this potential, but we can't never finish 10 weeks in a row. We always have something that goes wrong with our cars and things like that. So yeah, I mean, it's challenging everyone in the shop to step up, and our team on the road to step up, and this weekend everyone has. They've just come with a whole new approach, and really I almost feel like I'm driving for a different race team than I have been for the whole year when I came into the track this weekend.
Anybody else? One more. Lee Spencer has one.
Can you just follow up on that? I mean, why? Why do you feel it's a new team? Where did you think maybe you perhaps lost momentum during the summer? And, just give us something concrete why you think that, things feel better now.
I think it's just in the off week, everyone had time to breathe. I think we just got so caught up in, after we won the last Michigan race, we looked at the schedule and said, wow, we can win at Bristol. We can win. There's another Pocono. There's another Michigan. All these racetracks we started naming was like, we can win every single one of these races. We could have 10 wins when the chase starts. And then when something goes bad, you have a good run and it looks like you're going to win or run really well in the top 5 and you have a mechanical failure. It just beats the guys down so bad. It really is discouraging. And even though we're coming off of a mechanical failure at Bristol, I think it's just that week off just gave everyone a chance to reset. and it gave everyone a chance to take a break and realize, okay, we have 2 weeks to just our chase starts now, and it's 2 weeks to kind of get momentum going, and it seems like as soon as I showed up to the racetrack, it just everything has gone smooth.
Very good. Denny, thank you so much. Appreciate you coming in, and good luck tomorrow night.